Hi there, I'm Chef Laurie. Welcome to my kitchen, and today we're going to do a one skillet dish with ingredients in there that's actually good for you. Instead of the usual, the box thing and you add the meat, not so great. We're going to do a chicken sausage penne with peppers and tomatoes. It's really, really good. So let's get all our stuff. We start off with some chicken sausage right here. And we're going to utilize some frozen vegetables, and we'll talk about that in a second. So all we need in here, we've got frozen peppers and onions, beautiful chicken sausage, some whole wheat penne pasta, some tomatoes, and some Italian herbs. Well, let's get started. I'm going to grab a knife. Look at that. Beautiful, tasty. Some sweet Italian chicken sausage, less than half the amount of fat. All good ingredients. There isn't any junk in there at all. All the ingredients you can recognize, which is the very thing. The thing is, if you can't pronounce it, don't eat it. Unless you're in Paris. All right, here we go. Let's chop these into little circles. And this is the thing, time saver. Instead of doing one of these at a time, line them all up. And if you feel uncomfortable, at least get two at a time. Those fingers out of the way, push all the way through. And these are already pre-cooked, so I'm not worried about raw chicken on my cutting board. Okay, these are all chopped up, ready to go. Now, basics of sautéing 101, very important. Most important, we're going to cook this in here. Always get your pan hot first. Hot pan, then you add oil, and your food won't stick. Because if you put cold oil in a cold pan, it's just going to sit there. Cold oil in a hot pan is going to spread right out. So this actually has been preheating. We're going to add a little bit of olive oil. These things are great to put on top because you use a lot less instead of trying to. And we're just going to sprinkle. Just a little sprinkle. We don't need a whole lot. See how that's starting to spread out? Beautiful. And that's about a teaspoon. That's about all that you need. I know a lot of you, when you're chopping, you want to let's see, how do I get the sausage from here over to there? A lot of times you probably try and scoop it up with your knife and end up losing half of it along the way. I would suggest go buy yourself, these are called bench scrapers, and I think a lot of good cooking stores have them. This way, look, you can get a whole bunch all at once. Look at that. You can't do that with a knife. Careful. These go in. Hear that sizzle? That's what you want. Get a little bit more. In goes our sausage. Let those brown up a little bit. Meantime, we'll open with our can opener. Some beautiful diced tomatoes. Okay. You can use fresh if you want to, but sometimes this is a lot easier, a lot quicker too. So these go in. Careful with that. Now we're going to add these peppers. These are defrosted, and the thing is, to chop up all these peppers and onions is a lot of, it's very time consuming, but believe it or not, some frozen vegetables have more nutrients than the fresh ones that you have on the, in the produce section, because sometimes those fresh ones have been sitting there a really long time. Frozen vegetables, they pick and freeze them the very same day, which is very cool. So let's bring these over. I can hear them, these sizzling away. Now you notice how this is getting really smoky? Okay, that means that your heat's up a little bit too high. Just slowly turn it down, okay? And just kind of keep an eye on it. So let's open up this guy, which this is okay to use your knife for. In go these, and there's usually a lot of liquid in here. Don't worry about that. And you can put these in frozen too. So there's our peppers and onions. I'm going to grab our tomatoes. Okay. Tomatoes go in. Can of tomatoes. We're going to add some Italian seasoning. This is just a really good, my hands are wet from the, this is a really good blend of thyme and oregano and basil, and it's much better to use these blends instead of trying to get one at a time. So we'll put in a really good you can shake about teaspoon, tablespoon, whatever you like. That's about right. Last thing, we're going to add a cup of water, which this is 2 cups, so we're going to fill this up halfway. You don't have to grab a measuring spoon or a measuring cup. So we're going to add some water, about a cup or so. And then we're going to add our whole wheat pasta, measured exactly, another cup. And if you want to find the recipe for this, you can go to cheflaurie.com if you forget all the ingredients. Okay? Now that's just, I'm going to add a little bit more pasta here. And this is it. We're going to stir this up, okay? And the pasta is going to absorb all that really great liquid there. So we give this a good stir. I mean, that is it. We're going to put a cover on it. Now we're going to keep our eye on this. Once it really start to steam and you see lots of steam coming out of here, turn it down. All right, let's go check our sausage, chicken, tomato, pepper pasta. Let's see if that's ready. It's been about 10 minutes, and look how all that pasta has absorbed the water and the tomatoes and the peppers and the sausage, and this is practically fat-free. Tons of flavor. This will serve about 4, maybe 2 in our family, but we plate this up, and you know what, if you wanted to, look how beautiful it is. You could put some Parmesan cheese, some fresh mozzarella, or even some fresh basil on here. I mean, this is a one-skillet meal that you can actually feel good about eating. And for more recipes like this, go to cheflaurie.com.